Hi there, my name is Rachel, and this is the story about how I found out that my husband was cheating on me. I was oblivious to what was going on until one day I started having issues going to the bathroom and was alarmed to see blood in my urine. I went to the doctor and found out that I had contracted an STD. I was shocked, to say the least, but I honestly didn't know how this could have happened since my husband was the only person that I had slept with in the past 6 years. Thankfully, the doctor assured me that if I took some medication, it would clear up. But it got me thinking, how could I have contracted this disease? On my way home, I began to realize that the only possible way was if my husband, Steven, had been cheating on me and had contracted it from one of his partners. I was very upset, but I knew that I had to play it cool for now, or else I would let my husband know that I was onto him. I work as a defense attorney at a prestigious law firm and make very good money, while my husband just works at a convenience store. This hadn't bothered me as I was in love, and I made such good money that it didn't matter if my husband worked or not. For all I cared, he could have been a stay-at-home husband. However, knowing him, he would use the fact that he made so much less to try to get a lot of alimony. I knew that I needed to get as much evidence as possible that he was cheating on me. Where I live, if you can prove that the marriage fell apart due to your partner cheating on you, then the marriage would be dissolved, and the party that cheated would be entirely at fault. This meant that if I could prove that he cheated, then not only would I not have to pay him alimony, but I would also get to keep the house too. I called up a few of my girlfriends and asked if they would help me, and they jumped at the chance. We set up cameras and microphones around my house and then waited for them to record my husband while I was away at work. It didn't take long for us to find some concrete evidence. A few days after we installed everything, we saw my husband and his mistress fooling around in my bedroom. The two of them were talking and not making a secret about things.
Oh, babe, I love you so much.
Me too. But when are you leaving your wife? I want to move in as soon as I can so we can start a family. I know you feel bad since you're the breadwinner, but that's not really your problem anymore. Don't you love me?
Of course I do, babe. I just need to do things carefully, but I promise it will be soon.
I couldn't believe it. Not only was he lying to me, but he was lying to her as well. He had convinced her that he was the one bringing money into the house, but he was in for a rude awakening. This was just the evidence that I needed. Later that same day, I drafted up divorce papers and went home and left them on the kitchen table for Steven to find, and then went to stay at a hotel. When Steven got home, he found them and called me immediately.
What the hell is this all about?
They're divorce papers. Since you cheated on me, I figured it was the right thing to do. This way, you can go and be with your mistress, and I can move on with my life.
What are you talking about? Are you going crazy?
Steven, I'm not stupid. I went to the doctor and found out that I had an STD, one that your girlfriend gave to you, and then you gave to me.
That's insane. If you have an STD, then you must have gotten it from cheating on me. How dare you accuse me of cheating when you just admitted that you were the one to cheat on me?
Well, good luck trying to prove that. Listen, I'm going to spend the weekend at a hotel, but on Monday, I expect you all packed up and out of the house. He hung up the phone. I could tell that I had made him angry, but I didn't care. After all, he had not only cheated on me, but had risked my life as well. Thankfully, the STD that he had contracted wasn't something that would kill us, but the fact that he had contracted something at all and then passed it on to me felt like such a deep violation. On Monday, I went to my house, and to my surprise, my husband wasn't there. Although none of his things were missing, so I just assumed that despite my request, he hadn't moved out and was probably only at work. Angrily, I weighed my options. I knew that I couldn't legally change the locks or deny him access to the house, but I also didn't want to live with him while we were going through the divorce process. As I was standing in the kitchen thinking, I heard a knock on the front door. And when I answered it, it was my in-laws. They stormed into the house and began to yell at me.
How dare you treat our son like this? First you cheat on him, and then you push divorce papers on him?
How can you be so heartless?
You have this all wrong. First off, I never cheated on your son. He's the one that cheated on me and gave me an STD on top of it. I showed them copies of the evidence that I had gathered, and when they saw what I had, they were stunned. They stared at the pictures that I had printed from all of the cameras around the house. His mother began to ball up her fists, and I thought that she was going to swing at me when my husband came home and saw his parents there. Before he could say anything, his mother began to hit him.
You lied to us. You told us that she was divorcing you because she cheated and that you did nothing wrong. And here is the proof that it was all you.
My father-in-law tried to break up the two of them, but she was determined to beat him up, and my husband could do nothing but put his arms up and try to defend himself. Without thinking about it, I called the police, and they arrived pretty quickly and were able to restrain my mother-in-law. Although neither of them wanted to press charges, I did ask the police to remove them from the home as they were still angry, and I wasn't sure if they would begin to fight again. This could not have gone down more perfectly. Because he was removed by the police, I now had the legal right to kick him out as well and to even change the locks. As soon as I saw them leave, I called a locksmith and begged them to come out as soon as possible. The man I spoke with was very understanding and came out a few hours later and completed the job that same day. Now with my home secure, I got ready for our divorce proceedings. My husband tried to plead with the judge and said that I was abusive and that I owed him a great deal of money due to the large difference in our incomes. The judge, however, saw all the photos, recordings, the police report, and even my medical records, and then asked my husband what evidence he had for his claims. When he couldn't produce any, the judge just shrugged and sided with me, since I had proved that he had committed infidelity and had been negligent. The judge awarded me sole ownership of the house and had denied my husband any right to alimony. On top of that, the judge awarded me $15,000 as compensation for endangering my life. A few months later, my husband came to my home and begged me to take him back. It turned out that his girlfriend had kicked him to the curb once she found out that he was poor, and he was claiming that he had never loved her, and that I was the only one that he had ever loved. I laughed in his face and slammed the door on him. There was no way that I could ever trust him again, and the thing that he didn't understand was that I never cared about the money. Today, I am doing much better. I met someone amazing that cares for me and values me rather than just the money that I earn. We even have a 1-year-old, and my new husband is a stay-at-home father. My ex-husband barely lifted a finger around the house, but my new husband not only does all the cooking and cleaning, but is a writer in his spare time. Last month, he published his first book, and the sales from it have helped to create a nice college fund for our son. As for my ex-husband, I heard that he's still single and was forced to move in with his parents. After seeing his mother beat him up, I can't even imagine what he must face living under their roof. I just consider it karma in action. Thanks for watching.